Good morning, guys. It is just about 7 o'clock in the morning and I just pulled up to the lab where I have my 3-hour glucose test this morning. I mentioned in a few videos back that I did fail my 1-hour test, and so today is the day where I will be taking the 3-hour glucose test. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I am a little bit nervous. I know I heard from a bunch of you guys, family members and friends who have wound up failing both tests and did have gestational diabetes, that it really is not the end of the world. Most of the times it is very minimal that you do fail, and so you only have to make small lifestyle changes. I know one of Harris's cousins just had to walk for 30 minutes after she ate, and I think one of you guys mentioned that you just had to check your sugars 4 times a day and watch your carbs. So with me being so far along my pregnancy and not having that much time left, if I did have gestational diabetes and I just had to make small adjustments, it really is not the end of the world. But whenever you think about your own pregnancy and a possible complication, you can't really help but worry and I guess be nervous. Not only am I nervous for the actual test and like the results, but I'm kind of nervous for the process of it. The test hasn't even begun and I am so hungry already. My stomach has been growling the entire drive over here, and that literally was like a 10-minute drive. I am so hungry, so I can't imagine not eating for the next 3 hours. And I'm also a little nervous about passing out. I kind of have a history of passing out getting my blood drawn normally, so the fact that I'm going to be fasting for the next 3 hours and I have to get my blood drawn 4 different times, I'm a little nervous. But I've watched a bunch of videos on YouTube and women have said just ask to lay down if you don't feel well, which obviously makes sense. I did bring some homework with me to do to kind of help the time pass, as well as I have a video to edit, so hopefully the next 3 hours will fly by for me and hopefully everything will go well. I saw in one video someone said that you're considered passing if you have 0 or only 1 elevated level, and so I'm hoping, since my 1-hour test was only minimally elevated, that if I have 1 elevated level now, I will be okay. But I'm gonna go in. My appointment's not for another 15 minutes, but it is raining outside and I'm just gonna go in and check in. There really is no one in there. I see not a single person in the waiting room, so maybe they can get me started a little bit earlier and I can get out of here a little earlier. I did bring a banana and a granola bar to eat the second that I am done with this test, and then I'll probably go get Starbucks and all that kind of stuff. So, rambly introduction. I'm gonna head inside and we will get this 3-hour glucose tolerance test started. All right, fasting blood draw, initial blood draw, done. She's going to get my drink, which I'm not excited about. Weird. And it dyes your teeth. I know. Second blood draw, the 1 hour after the glucose drink, in about 10 minutes. I've just been sitting in the waiting room. I have not done any of the work that I brought because I'm really struggling right now. I feel really nauseous, so I think after I get this blood drawn, I'm going to ask to lay down for a little bit, and then hopefully I'll feel a little better and I can get some work done in between my first and second and third, or whatever, in between hours 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, if this is making any sense at all. It's about 10:15 now. final blood draw in just a few minutes, and then when I'm done with that, I will eat something and update you guys in the car with how the whole experience went. I don't think I'm gonna get my results today, so I'm not getting my hopes up, but I do have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so hopefully they'll be in by tomorrow. And I'll be vlogging that and including that in this video as well. Alright, so I just got back to my car. As you guys can see, it is really raining out today. It is a crappy day, so I guess it was a good day to get this test done. And I also have a banana that I brought with me from home so I could eat right now, right when I got out. But while I eat this, I'm going to quickly update you guys on like my whole experience. So overall, it really wasn't that bad. There was that one point in time where I wasn't too sure if I was going to make it in between when I drank the drink and I got my blood drawn for the first time. I felt so nauseous. I just think because the drink has so much sugar in it, it has twice the amount of the 1 hour test. So I drank it and I started to feel really shaky and really nauseous, and I was getting like throw up burps, which might be TMI, but I get those frequently now. And so I started to get those and I got a little worried that I was going to throw up, and I know if you throw up you cannot continue the test, you have to come back. So I was really trying to talk to myself and not throw up because I did not want to have to come back. And I mentioned that after they drew my blood for the second time, or the first time maybe, I don't know, I mentioned that I was going to ask if I can lay down for a little bit just because I really wasn't feeling well. But I wound up not doing that. I got my blood drawn and I went back out in the waiting room and I kind of felt a little bit better. I drank some water. You're allowed to drink just plain water, so I brought waters with me. And I drank some water and I kind of just relaxed and sat there for a minute. There was this really nice older woman here who kind of helped take my mind off it. She was talking to me about my pregnancy and everything like that. So I started to feel a lot better. And by the time I got my blood drawn for the second time, I really wasn't like affected by it. I did wind up getting my video edited, my thumbnail done, and most of the readings done that I brought with me. So overall, it was productive. It really wasn't that bad. Would I do it again? Absolutely not. But now that it's over, at least it is over. Like I mentioned, I didn't get my results and I probably won't get them until at least tomorrow. I do have my 30-week doctor's appointment with my normal OB tomorrow. So hopefully he will have the results by then and he will be able to talk to me about them. I'm going to vlog that appointment and include it in this video, as well as an update once I get out of that appointment tomorrow. I will update you guys on the boys and how everything's been going in my third trimester now that I've been in it for a few weeks. So I'm gonna go now, get some Starbucks, get something else to eat. I also have to stop and pick up more prenatal pills because I ran out of those. So you guys will hear from me tomorrow when we head over to that doctor's appointment. Good morning, guys. It is now the next day. I just quickly finished throwing myself together and I thought before we even head out for the doctors, I would sit down and give you guys a little bit of a third trimester update. So I actually want to sit and like get comfortable because not that I have a lot to share with you guys, but I just want to get comfortable so we can have a little chat. Okay, so I am currently 30 weeks pregnant. I turned 30 weeks this past Sunday. So just a few days ago. It is Tuesday now. So I'm still kind of like newly 30 weeks, but I've been in the third trimester for about 2 weeks or so. So I thought I would kind of just update you guys on how the third trimester has been, especially in comparison to my second and my first trimesters. To be completely honest, the past few weeks, probably since about like 25 weeks, it has been going by so fast that I forget to write things down when I'm feeling them, and every week is kind of like a blur and meshed together. So if there's anything I don't talk about that you guys want to be updated on, or any questions you guys have or anything like that, leave that down below and I can film a more formal update video more towards the end of my pregnancy. But so far the third trimester to me has been the hardest of the three. It's been especially hard on me just because I'm getting to the point where I feel so huge. I'm so out of breath, as you guys can probably hear. So out of breath from doing the simplest things, putting my socks and shoes on, getting dressed, getting out of bed, even eating, talking. I'm constantly trying to catch my breath, and that has to be the most annoying part. I feel like I just sound so out of breath all the time, which I am, but that has been a big thing. Definitely in the past few weeks, I've just been more out of breath. And eating has also become really hard. This kind of started, I would say, like right before Thanksgiving, and I was really sad because I was like, oh my god, Thanksgiving is going to be so hard for me to eat. But I think my stomach is just so squished by the boys that eating anything large or heavy is really uncomfortable. I have to stick to really small meals, and even sometimes when I do that, just towards the end of the day, I am so uncomfortable and my stomach really hurts. I feel like my skin is going to rip. My rib cage gets really like numb and irritated. I explain it to people like it feels like sciatica pain, but in your rib cage. It's a really weird feeling, but I get that after I eat really large meals. So eating has become a lot more difficult, and because of that, I just feel like my appetite has diminished because I'm afraid to eat, because I'm afraid to get to the point where I feel really uncomfortable. So that's been hard. I still get the Braxton Hicks contractions. Those started for me towards the end of my second trimester. If you guys have been following along, you would know that. Those still happen if I sit in certain positions, and certain times of day I find that I get them more frequently than others, but I've kind of just gotten used to them, so they're not as uncomfortable as they used to be. A really interesting kind of new thing in the third trimester is my like vivid dreams. I've been having such vivid dreams the past week especially, and they're always something so weird. Like I had a dream that I missed my 3-hour glucose test, and it was the most terrifying dream ever. I literally woke up sweating, which that is another thing. I feel like I'm always having hot flashes and I'm always hot, and I always feel like I'm sweating. Like I feel the heat radiating off my body. That's what I tell Harris. I just feel like I'm always really hot, and I think that's like a hormonal thing, but vivid dreams have been new. The being really hot thing has been new. But other than that, I feel like I can't even really remember. All I know is that this trimester for me has been the most difficult out of the three, just because I've had such an easy first trimester, and the beginning of my second trimester was really smooth. I just think now, because I'm so big and I'm so uncomfortable and the boys are growing rapidly, that I'm having a lot more like growing pains, and I feel like I'm just experiencing more than I did in the other two trimesters. So that's why this one's kind of been hard for me. I don't know what I'm at as far as weight gain. We'll find out when we go to the doctors in a little bit, but my maternity clothes have started to even get tight on me, so that kind of sucks. I just feel like I'm getting to the point where all I want to do is lay in bed. All I want to wear is sweatpants and sweatshirts, which I know is totally fine. I know it happens, and it doesn't really matter what I look like or what I wear, anything like that. But I just feel like I'm getting really big. So far, no stretch marks that I can tell. I'll give you guys an updated bum shot right before we head out for the doctor's appointment. But overall, that's all I can really think about for what's been going on in the third trimester. Like I said, I've only been in it for a few weeks. But if there's anything you guys want like specific updates on, or you guys have questions about, leave those down below and I'll film another third trimester update, definitely more towards the end of the third trimester, to just like wrap things up. So that's a little update for you guys. I'm going to finish getting all my stuff together, my bag, and finish getting dressed. I'm literally dressed from the waist up right now. I'll give you guys a bump update and then we'll head out. I do need to get gas really badly on the way to my doctor's appointment. Then we'll go to the doctor's appointment, and then I will give you guys an update on the boys and kind of the trajectory of my pregnancy, because now is when my doctor's really going to start to be able to tell me, or I hope he'll start to be able to tell me kind of an estimate of when he thinks the boys will come. Excuse the sound of the rain if you can hear it on the skylight. I didn't know it was raining already, which kind of sucks because like I said, I need to get gas. But before I head out, I thought I'd quickly do a bump update like I said. So this is what we're working with. I feel like it is taking on such an odd shape. Like I mentioned, I feel like I have a torpedo belly, and I kind of had a feeling that this was gonna happen. I feel like I'm so pointy. I don't know, it looks so ridiculous. Obviously, some days it's more round than others, depending on how the boys are laying. But this is what it looks like unclothed. As you can see, my linea nigra is super dark. I'm starting to get it above it now. But so far, I don't really see any stretch marks or anything. I feel like my belly button is getting even more pushed out, which I did not know was physically possible. But this is what we're working with at 30 weeks with the two boys. So definitely big. I'm interested to see today if my doctor says I'm big or measuring on track. I feel like I kind of hit a really rough patch a few weeks ago and the boys were growing so fast, but this past week I haven't really been too uncomfortable, so I feel like they haven't really grown much. But we will see when I go. I just feel like it's taking on such a weird pointy shape. So I'm gonna head out now and I will check in with you guys once I'm done with my doctor's appointment. All right, so I just got out of my doctor's appointment. First things first, I got my results from yesterday's 3-hour glucose test and I passed. So happy about that. So I don't have gestational diabetes. Everything is fine. I'm so happy. And then I went in and I got a sono today. The pictures that I got are not the best. Baby B was facing like the back of me, so she couldn't get anything of his face, and baby A was like snuggled up against baby B, so his shoulder is in the way of the pictures of his face. But aside from that, both of them are over 3 pounds now. When I came 2 weeks ago, they were both 2 pounds 11 ounces. Now baby A is 3 pounds and 5 ounces and baby B is 3 pounds and 2 ounces. So still measuring nice and on track with one another, and they are definitely gaining weight at a good rate. Fluid and everything looks really good as well. So my doctor basically told me today that if things go the way they've been going, with my fluid being great, them gaining weight, me being healthy, and I don't go into labor on my own, he feels comfortable waiting to induce me until 38 weeks. So I could go into labor at any point, spontaneously, on my own, realistically, around 36 weeks. But if that does not happen and everything is still going the way that it's been going, he feels comfortable waiting to induce me until 38 weeks. And both the boys are head down. They're still head down. They were head down last time I came. So he said if they both stay head down, that I have a very good chance of having them vaginally if I choose. He said I can choose to have a C-section if I don't want to risk having one vaginally and one via C-section. But the way that they are, they're kind of like perfectly lined up. So I'm happy about that because I do want to try and have them vaginally. As for me, belly's measuring right on track and I've gained 38 pounds total, which is really good for a multiples pregnancy. I mentioned this before, but the recommended weight gain is between 40 and 50 pounds. So say I have 2 months left, I should probably only gain maybe a few more pounds. I feel like my weight gain has really slowed down since the kind of beginning of the second trimester. I feel like I was gaining weight really fast. My weight gain has slowed down a lot, so my weight gain is on track and I don't see myself hitting that 50 pound mark. He also told me that I need to go get my DBT shot, which I think is the whooping cough vaccine, and my flu shot, but I already have the flu shot. So now getting that vaccine is on my to-do list. But other than all that, everything is looking really well with me with the boys growth wise, which is perfect. You know, you always want to hear good things. I'm really happy with how my glucose results came out and how this doctor's appointment went. I hope you guys enjoyed this little update and me taking you along for both my 3-hour glucose test and my 30-week appointment. I do think I'm just going to end the video here because I have a lot of footage between yesterday and today. But like I said, if I didn't cover something that you wanted me to cover when I sat down before and kind of gave you like a 3rd trimester update, leave what you guys want to hear down below, questions or just things you're curious about, and I will film another sit down 3rd trimester update as I get further along in my 3rd trimester. So I'm gonna go head home, and guess what I'm gonna do? Study for my final. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I'm so out of breath, oh my god. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.